But for like the layman, daily consumers, you and me, I will tell you that most of the times I can't be bothered to color correct. Just wish that more K-beauty brands would just, innovate a little bit, step outside of the box of all these strict labels. Like this is for winter, this is for autumn, this is for summer, and this is for spring. There is no crossover of cool and warm tone eyeshadows or colors just coming together. If there's one thing that K-beauty can do right, it's this. We're back for another What's New in K-beauty, and for spring summer 2024, I must say that K-beauty brands are really dropping new releases on us left, right, center. Some of these brands, they actually release 3-4 new makeup products or collections even within a month alone by itself, which is crazy. Can you imagine releasing new makeup products more or less every single week? Some of these makeup releases are kind of like interesting to me. Some of them I'm a bit like, some of them I'm like, I don't think I wanna get that, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna share with you guys my thoughts, and without further ado, let's get into it. Also, sorry my voice sounds a little bit hoarse. I'm still recovering from a bad flu and sore throat kind of thing. My throat is really scratchy. Shall we start off with Clio first? They have 4 new collections, releases. It's a whole lot. First up, they have the Clio Kill Cover Powder Foundation, which I don't think I have seen a K-beauty brand actually do a powder foundation in a really, really long time. I think this is more common in Western brands, but for Asian makeup in general, powder foundations like this, I don't really see it too often. The only one I can really think of at the top of my head right now is the Etude one. Etude had a powder cake foundation, something like this, as well as Kate Tokyo. It has already been pre-launched online ever since the 24th of April. I'm not really sure when will it be actually available globally, but retail, if I am not wrong, this is retailing for about 34,000 won, which is it's a bit up there, I would say. You get 3 shades, 21C Lingerie, 21N Linen, 23N Ginger. You can use it as both a standard foundation as well as a finishing powder. I think normally when it comes to this type of powder cake foundations like this with the whole sponge included, more or less the intention would be to use it as a powder foundation where you take the sponge and actually apply it like that. I think it's a good release for spring summer, more on the summer aspect because normally when it's summer, it's hot, sweaty, humid, and all those like cute glowy foundations and like glowy cheeks like this and all that kind of stuff, they usually do not last in the heat itself. So normally people will tend to gravitate more towards like matte finish products, base makeup, and it just wears better throughout the day because if you were to wear like glowier products, not saying you can't, you can, it's just that glowier products sometimes it will make you look even more sweaty by maybe midday, don't even talk about like end of the day kind of thing. So, and honestly, as much as I like the idea of this, the idea of the product, I probably would not be picking this up because for me personally, even though I have more like dry combination skin, these type of powder foundations, they usually don't work out for me. They normally cling to my dry patches or they end up looking very splotchy and they kind of separate as well very easily. It's not like the most flawless base makeup. I think for my skin type, it's just a little bit too thick and heavy. Maybe I apply it wrongly or something. I don't know. I've tried the Maybelline Fit Me one. I've tried some Thai Beauty as well. Those are like powder foundations. And yeah, in general, they just didn't work out for me. So I will be easily passing on this. If you do pick this up, please let me know what you guys think. Next from Clio, we have a new collection called the Sweet Cloud Collection. And the whole theme of it, it's super cute. It's this like fantasy, cotton candy, circus theme kind of vibe. I love the embossing. First, you get the Shade and Shadow palette number 5. It's called Sweet Cloud. And you also get the Pure Blur tints. You got new shades 9 to 13 and a new product type, which is the Moon Liquid Glitters from Clio. And you get 5 new shades. Let's talk about the palette itself. It's the Shade and Shadow palette and it's called Sweet Cloud number 5. The color story of it is kind of like that pastel pink, light pinks, that kind of thing with a pop of lemon yellow. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is quite cute. And when Cleo started to release more pictures on IG and how it swatches on the eyes, skin swatches, that kind of thing, it is quite apparent to me that this pop of like lemon yellow is leaning more towards like a sheer yellow pale gold, which at that point I kind of already have colors like this in kind of like my older eyeshadow palettes. Granted, the formula and finish is probably not the same because I feel that K-Beauty shadows, when they do shimmers, they kind of do it in a sense where the base pigment isn't as pigmented. It's more of like the shimmer particles itself that has the color of whatever color is in the pan. So this one, I was a bit like, okay, I get it. I guess it's cute. Also because I think colors like this lemon drop kind of color and lime green, which is, I'll talk about it later in another palette. If you know which palette I'm going to talk about. But this type of like lime yellow, yellow gold kind of color, I think it's trending right now in Korea, which is quite surprising to me as well because normally K-Beauty is like the furthest away from being experimental with color. So I guess it's refreshing in a sense to see it develop in a way, but at the same time, they claim that it's color. But when they wear it on their eyes, it's like you barely even notice it. It could pull off as like a gold or something. It might even pull off as silver with maybe like a slight flip of green, this type of thing. Okay, anyway, I think we've seen enough color stories and eyeshadow palettes in this realm of things. Is it cute? Yes, I agree. It's very cute. And it's actually very, very up my alley. I think this will actually look good on people who have a winter season tone because the pinks itself looks quite saturated and quite bright. So I think someone with a winter season tone would enjoy this. Also because it's the shade and shadow palette, you get something to kind of define your cheeks and also a highlighter. So you get 2 blushes and 1 highlighter. From the pictures alone by itself, I can't really tell if the highlighter itself is a matte white or a shimmery white highlighter. The 2 blushes, the pinks and the purples, I already have something like this already in my current collection, so I don't see a need to actually get this. The eyeshadow palette itself, it's low-key a bit of a snooze fest for me because I already own such colors in my own collection already. That's something along this line, so this one I feel is an easy pass for me. The Moonglass liquid glitters though, that one is dangerous. It's calling my name. I'm very, very tempted by it. And you get 5 new shades. The first one is Baby Snow. Next one is Moon Flare, Violet Topping, Pink Spread, and Chilling Rose. I gotta admit, I'm a huge sucker for liquid glitters. And if there's one thing that K-Beauty can do right, it's this. I'm quite surprised to see that it took Cleo this long to release liquid glitters. I thought they'll be one of the first few brands to actually release liquid glitters, but apparently not. But it's okay, you know what? I'd rather have good quality products that's developed over a longer period of time rather than rushing out some product that's just like half done and it's like, it's not good, that kind of thing. Because I feel that Cleo's products, they are not the most affordable, neither are they the most expensive. They're kind of like mid-tier, but the quality of their stuff is good. I really, really love Cleo a lot. These 5 colors, they kind of have that safe color selection, very standardized, very normal to see from a K-Beauty brand. Something like a icy white, rose gold, bronze, and maybe a taupe thrown in there. It's very standardized, so I kind of expected it to see colors like this. I was, hoping for something a little bit more. I noticed that the applicator itself is leaning more on the longer side of things, so I guess it's targeted more towards doing your aegyo glitter makeup, so you can just like run the applicator along the skin of your aegyo. I'm not a big fan of doing that personally. I rather take the applicator itself and dot the glitter on. That's my style because I like to have a little bit more control about where I place my glitters. But that's just me being nitpicky. I still can work around with the longer applicator. If I do see this in stores, or maybe I chance upon it if I go to Japan really, really soon, then maybe I will pick this up because I love liquid glitter so much, and I know today's the day that I'm not wearing any liquid glitter. Today's one of those few days where I'm wearing like a purely matte eyeshadow. Who am I? Oh my god. But yeah, I might pick this up. It's like a add to cart moment. And for the pure blur tints, you have 5 new shades. You have number 9 Fuzzy Fuzzy Pink, number 10 Pure Heart Plum Slushy, number 11 Sweet Cumulus Candy, number 12 A Picnic Rose, and 13 Sheep Cloud Beige. The general vibe that I'm getting from these colors is that they are definitely way more cool tone, leaning more towards like the summer to winter cool tone season colors kind of thing. I think these will look good on those type of color profiles. I think the only like warm ones is maybe a Picnic Rose. That's the only warm one out of the bunch. Other than that, the rest are pretty cool tone, I must say. I've actually never seen the pure blur tints available yet here in Singapore because the mall nearby to my place, they actually have a Watsons, and their Watsons is pretty like well stocked, and we do have Cleo available there. Sometimes I do see like the new releases, but the pure blur tints, not so much, or if not, it's just the fact that I never really notice it because for the fact that I personally am not the biggest fan of blurring tints, more of like the 2018 to 2020 era of blurring tints. I just didn't really have a good time with them because they just don't feel the most comfortable on my lips because they kind of have that like silicone slip to it, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Only in recent years did I start to, play around with blurring tints one more time. And the more recent ones that I've swatched include the Colourgram one, the Juicy Blur tint. I managed to swatch that in stores. And actually, I thought that felt nice when I swatched it on my hand. I didn't swatch it on my lips because I'm not that unhygienic to swatch it on my lips. And that's a whole other issue. But the color that I like the most out of these 5 currently in this new lineup, I would say Sheep Cloud Beige. I think that color is definitely more unique. I don't think a lot of brands do colors like this because usually when they do cool tone pinks, they kind of have this very like strong, saturated pink, or if not, it's like a red purple pink, that kind of thing. This one is cool tone, yes, but there's quite a bit of that grey pigment to it, so it kind of gives off a very like dusty pink kind of vibes. This is what I imagine of at least a dusty pink. So if I get a chance to see this in stores, maybe I'll swatch this, maybe I'll check it out, but you know what? Other than that, I think it's an easy pass for me. I've more than enough lip tints as well. Clear also updated their Kale Brow Auto Hard Brow Pencil line. So they kind of updated the colors and packaging. So you have 5 new colors now, which is Natural Brown, Light Brown, Peanut Brown, Light Grey, and Grey Brown. By the time this video goes live, it's already been pre-launched on Olive Young website. I think it's only the Korean website if I'm not wrong. And I must say, even though I have loved K-Beauty for so many years, I actually never bought the Kale Brow pencils. I know these are highly raved for a long time. For many years, it's like a cult favorite kind of thing. So it's been in the game for quite a while. Based off what I'm seeing online, I must say the colors are really free from any yellowness or redness, which I feel like that is something I kind of struggle with sometimes when finding the suitable brow pencils or just trying out brow pencils. The redness in dark browns sometimes are really apparent. The applicator itself is one of those with like the triangular applicators, which personally for me, I'm not a big fan of. I think it's a little bit hard to control. I've more or less kind of figured out my preference for brow pencils, which is those that are really like skinny 1.5mm pencils. I love to use pencils like that because it just offers more control and you can really draw very feather-like, hair-like strokes with those 1.5mm pencils. Thicker pencils like this, it's a little bit more clunky, chunky. Maybe it's great for beginners as well if you're trying to like draw out your eyebrows, but you know what? Maybe I'll try this out. I'm not really sure. I have a ton of eyebrow pencils that I've not gone through just yet. So if I do see this in stores, I get a chance to like feel it out. If the formula feels nice, not too waxy, not too creamy, a nice balance, no redness in the brow color itself, maybe I'll pick this out. Usually go through one brow pencil within like 2 months-ish. If it's those 1.5mm ones, maybe even a month and a half sometimes. So it really depends. So A brow pencil, I can kind of justify getting. And the latest new release from Cleo would be their Sharp So Simple Brush Shade Liner. You get 3 shades, 1 milk brown, 2 vanilla brown, and 3 mocha brown. So this is one of those like transparent, see-through kind of liners where you can use it to draw your natural like eyeliner, but normally people will use this to kind of do the aegyo shading, and they'll use it to like kind of fake the shadow. Personally, for me, I don't usually do that for like using a liquid and drawing it on. I usually prefer powder. Cleo apparently recommends to use it to draw like the shadow of your under eye over here as well if you want to. But for me, I feel that aegyo makeup, it really depends on my mood. It's not like a must-do kind of thing, because I know some people really needs to draw their aegyo like all the time. The good thing is you can go through multiple passes of this liquid liner if you really want to amp up the darkness of the liquid liner. And I think the colors itself, they lean quite neutral, not say super warm. Maybe only like mocha brown looks pretty warm. Other than that, milk brown and vanilla brown, they look pretty neutral to me at least. If you're the type of person who likes to take a liquid liner to draw your aegyo I think this will be an interesting product to check out. Oh yeah, I remember I was talking to one of you guys via email. One of you guys replied to me after my monthly newsletter being sent out, which, by the way, if you haven't joined already, I encourage you guys to join it, because that is where I share with you guys my monthly favorites, as well as all of my quick little tips that I've learned for the month as well. So check out the link down below. But basically what I actually shared with that subscriber was that if you kind of struggle with drawing your aegyo maybe go like one shade that is above your skin tone. Don't go for something that is really like stark white, or pick a liquid liner that is really heavy and deep and dark just to get the contrast itself. Maybe I should do a video tutorial about this, drawing your aegyo how to make it look more flattering, that kind of thing. So if you guys want to see a video on that, please let me know. Other than that, I probably won't be picking up this brush liner because I just prefer to use powder. Maybe it's a game changer to use liquid to fake your aegyo, I don't know. But honestly, based off the promo picture itself, I can see the shading, the line itself, which I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So I don't know. For me, it's a pass, but I don't know. For you guys, maybe you can check this out. Now moving on to Peripera, affordable, cute little sister brand of Cleo. They are releasing new All Take Mood palettes. They have 4 new shades. 4 new shades, like 2 of them are kind of revamped, and then the other 2 are brand new shades. The names on these are a little bit long based off Instagram translation, so I'm just gonna read it as it is. Number 1 is I Saw the Wind Blowing and Saw Spring. This is a light coral. Apparently this is the existing number 5 palette currently, and now it's renewed to this. Number 2 is The Narrative of Spring and Summer. This is a subtle pink. Number 3 is Can You Call It Flower? It's a bright coral. The 4th palette is called Number 4, but please check DM. Okay, and it's a cool pink, and currently it's the current number 11 palette, and it's being renewed to this 4th shade over here, this 4th palette. So I personally have never tried the All Take Mood palettes from Peripera. I've always wanted to try it, but there's just something about it that I'm a little bit turned off by, and it's the oblong shape of it. It looks like a very awkward length and size palette, which would make it a little bit hard to store. They kind of added this half pan moment in each of the palettes, which, I guess it looked edgy, something different, revamped, I guess, but nothing revolutionary that I feel the need to actually pick up this palette. It doesn't convince me to pick up a palette just because one of the pans have a half pan, that kind of thing. I think I ever did mention one of these palettes in the What's New in K-Beauty maybe like sometime last year. And I remember one of y'all was telling me that the eyeshadow formula is just kind of meh, that kind of thing. It's nothing too crazy either. So honestly, if it is what it is, then I don't feel the need to actually pick up this eyeshadow palette. Based off the arm swatches as well, it's kind of your very standard spring, summer, autumn, winter color story, color palette. And it's great that they have one palette meant for each season tone if it's somebody who is trying to like get into the whole am I a spring, summer, fall, winter, that kind of personal color analysis. So I think this is great to have that kind of condensed color story for them to actually try and pick out at a very affordable price point. I think this is, how much does it cost? It costs 23,000 won. So not say as expensive as Clio. For $23 to $24-ish, you get 8 shades. I think quite reasonable. I feel like the brown in this Check DM palette is like a hint deeper compared to the rest. The rest really are quite leaning towards light medium. Actually, the Check DM one is also kind of medium brown. But you know what? It's K-Beauty eyeshadow palettes. They really are trying to keep it, you know, light medium, not so saturated colors. And yeah, it's just the nature of K-Beauty right now. At the point of recording this, Peripera has just released and revealed their Soda Cafe collection. And on the menu, it's so cute. This whole collection, the branding, chef kiss on point. They have the Ink Mood Glowy Tint, the Pure Blush Custom Cheek, Ink Pocket Shadow Palette, All Take Mood Palette, which is the one I just mentioned, the Mood Fit Cover Cushion, Oil Capture Cooling Powder, Ink All Black Cara, V Highlighter, and V Shading. How many of this is going to be repackaged stuff? I have no clue, but what I can say is there will definitely be new Ink Mood Glowy tints. And if you've been on my channel before, you guys know that I love the Ink Mood Glowy tints. And honestly, I'm just trying to hold restraint on myself to not buy every single new tint that they release, because Peripera is terrible for discontinuing shades really fast just to bring in like new items and stuff like that. I wish they kept all of the Ink Mood Glowy tints, but you know what? It is what it is. And I just realized there's going to be a green to orange blush. How cool is that? I mean, the custom blushes with the Peri Peri Night one, I wanted to get that. I still haven't gotten it. I am really controlling myself really badly, but this green blush, this is very interesting. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm looking at the image of the one with like a shell detail for the highlighters in the back. Ooh, that is cute. It kind of reminds me of those type of seashells that you see on the beach. That is cute. And I love the packaging of the Ink Mood Glowy tints, the one like a little like jelly thing going on the top of it, on the cap. That is so cute. I love it. Oh my gosh. I don't see any swatches right now in front of me, so I can't really comment on it, but just letting you guys know, this collection is coming and I'm here for it. I want to see what's new from Peripera, and if it's cute, I might get it. I might. Moving on to DASIC, which is one of my other favorite brands, they actually did release a couple of new items as well. This is their pre-summer collection, which I'm just like, so there's gonna be a summer collection, is that it? I'm interested to see. And they have this color correcting sun base, and they have 4 colors. So they have number 1, rosy pink, number 2, Sika green, number 3, lemon cream, and number 4, pure lavender. So rosy pink is to help dull and dark complexion correction. Sika green is to help with fuzzy signs and low-key correction. Okay, Instagram translation, what is this? Normally for green, it's kind of like to color correct any like redness. Lemon cream, which is number 3, is fixing the tone for blue and lifeless skin. Number 4 is pure lavender, is the correction of yellowish and dull skin. And on top of this color correcting sun base, they actually release finishing powders as well. And it's this type of like marbled finish, and it's in 2 shades. 1 is Cotton Light, 2 is Milky Light. So Cotton Light covers the skin tone evenly, powder that gives you more life. Milky Light is light up the face with fine jello powder to lighten your skin. So you kind of get the vibe here. 1 is to kind of like mattify properly. The other one is to kind of like make your skin look brighter or lighter, according to them. Can I just say that the marbled texture and aesthetic on this powder makes me want it so bad. There's something about this, and on top of the DASIC, the highlighter, the one with the coquette looking one with the heart imprint on it, those two together, it's to be such a cute on my daily vanity kind of moment. So cute, I love it. But okay, we're here to talk about the product, not so much about like the aesthetic of it. I think one of you guys actually purchased this. Y'all DM me on Instagram showing me that you actually got this powder. And you say it's actually good. I'm like, oh my god, I low-key want to get this as well. But do I need another powder? I do not need another powder. I have so many powders with me. I gotta finish it. Some of the powders in my collections currently, they're like really, really old. Like for example, this like Laura Mercier powder over here has been with me since like, I don't know, 2018, I think, if I'm not wrong. Hasn't broke me out yet, so I think, you know what, I'm just gonna close one eye, two eyes maybe, and just finish it up. That subscriber was from Japan, and since I'm traveling to Japan in a couple of weeks, I have a high chance of swatching this in the beauty store. So if I swatch this in stores, maybe I'll get it. I want to see if the texture of it, is it kind of like the flaky powder, or is it going to be like smooth, finely milled in a sense? Because if it's going to be something that's a little bit more flaky, and this one kind of looks like a baked powder. Actually, I don't know if this is a baked finish because of how it's being, in the pan itself. Actually, the correct question is, how much is this going to be? Because they are not saying how much it is online. I can't seem to find any prices that is online on their IG. But you know what? Knowing what I know of DASIC, it's probably going to range around the 30,000 to 35,000 Korean won, around there. So if it's anything cheaper, which is highly unlikely, then it's great. But if not, I think it's gonna be, middle tier price point as well. The color correcting sun creams, I nearly forgot about it. It's a sign of how I feel. Respectfully speaking, I do not see the point of it being like this, because I cannot picture myself unscrewing 4 different sunscreens, tubes of sunscreens, and applying different like colors to my face when I'm rushing in the morning. It's like too fussy. I don't have the time to do that. I think it's a nice idea to have it like as a sun cream and a color corrector in one go. But normally when it comes to color correction, I feel like people usually would do targeted color correction, or if not, they're color correcting very specific areas of their face. Maybe just like green here, and maybe for another person, it will be just purple over here and here. Like, it really depends on individual to individual. Maybe I'm alone on this train of thought, but color correction itself, not a lot of people bother to do it. People in the morning are just rushing for work. They just want to apply something on their face and get out the door. I think people will only really do it if maybe they're going out for the night, they really want to look put together, maybe they have a photo shoot or something like that. Maybe they'll put in a little bit more effort to do color correction. But for like the layman, daily consumers, you and me, I will tell you that most of the times I can't be bothered to color correct unless it's like a really, really bad situation of redness, of acne, or stuff like that. Wigmake has released their Lime Sparkling collection, and in that collection, it includes the lip palette, as well as, I think it's called a Stay Fixer powder, if I'm not wrong. Stay Fixer multicolor powder, yes, as well as an eyeshadow palette. Let's talk about a lip palette, because I remember I briefly mentioned about it in my last What's New in K-Beauty, and this third one is called Lime Tropical Glowing. I must say, the colors are indeed quite bright and vivid. Definitely something different. I did not envision a lip palette like this, so I was a bit like, ooh, what's this? This is quite interesting, quite cute. I think that this will look good on maybe like spring, autumn tone people. But then again, based off the swatches that I'm seeing, I can tell that all of the formulas in this palette is kind of that similar jelly looking like, very see-through lips. And on the lips, honestly, you can't really tell the difference between maybe the, the blue and the light pink. They end up looking more or less the same on the lips, as well as the reddish shades like Extra Solar, Pink Forward, and Blazing Coral. They look similar-ish enough on the lips. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. On the lips itself, they all look the same. So I don't know what's going on with like Wake Make's product development, because they had a vision, yes. But when it came to the execution, I'm a bit like, huh? Can we get a velvet finish, a matte finish? Heck, maybe turn that petal dew shade into, I don't know, maybe a cream? I think that'll be cute. What if Pink Forward was maybe like a matte, for example? I think that'd be nice. I think a lip palette like this, it's nice to have maybe if I have it at home, for example, but I don't see myself bringing out this whole lip palette out in public and start like mixing my custom shades there and then at the cafe or something like that. So this one, maybe it'll be good for like makeup artists. And if Wake Make actually creates different finishes in the lip palette itself, I am more inclined to actually buy it and check it out because I love the idea of this. But everything in there just looks way too similar, and it's the same finish, the same colors. It's a little bit of a snooze fest, so that's why I'm just holding it off right now. The idea of taking my fingers and just digging it into the product in public, and I don't even know if my hands are clean, Hygiene, people, hygiene. I suspect that solid lip products are turning into a trend right now. A lot of K-beauty brands are releasing more and more of such products. So I don't know how I feel about this, but it's giving me the ick. For Wake Make Stay Fixer Multi Powder, you get 3 shades. One is this like purple, green, blue. One is purple, yellow, pink. And one it looks like a softer beige, pink, and rose kind of color. Now, the purple, green, blue one, which is the first one, it reminds me of the Givenchy powder, the loose powder, which is like, I don't know, in Singapore it costs about like 105 if I'm not wrong for just the powder alone by itself. Have I ever considered getting it? Yes, because I really, really enjoyed the loose blush version of it. So I was a bit tempted to get it, but I chose not to because I couldn't rationalize spending like $100 over just on a face powder. But this, I'm pretty sure it's not $100. I've always wanted to try this particular color combination of powders because I think this green, purple, blue combination, it actually helps with brightening up your face and not say light washing your skin, but more of making your skin look more awake and brighter. If I get the chance also to see it in Japan as well, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll just swatch it, just have a feel of it. Because I know there's a local Singaporean beauty brand that has just released one of these like green, blue, purple powders, and it's Saho's Art Beauty if I'm not wrong. And they released one with that exact color combination. So that's another option for me for affordable powders like that. So it's good to have options. And I'll just keep this in view, KIV it. And the palette itself, Lime Crush Blurring. I'm surprised to even see that half of the palette is lime colored. Because like I said, a lot of K-beauty brands, they don't really dare to put in color like that. So for Wake Make to, actually be a little bit more ballsy and just throw in color like this, I respect that. Because I've always said that Wake Make is one of those brands that I feel personally that's at least a little bit more edgier, a little bit more willing to, push the boundaries a little bit. And based off the swatches itself, I can see that it's actually green and lime. Maybe the green shimmer on the second row at the extreme end, that one is pulling like a little bit more of like a silver with like a hint of green, that kind of thing. I don't really like it. I want it to be like green, that kind of thing. But I understand that Wake Make is trying to make it a little bit more wearable for the everyday wearer, for people who are willing to actually purchase this. I wonder if this is actually selling well or not, because I don't think I saw a brand actually pushing out lime green products until Wake Make actually did it first, and then now it's like trending and all that. So I'm very curious to see in the months forward if this lime green thing will any other brand adopt the color trend at all. So yeah, I do like as well that they chose to pair the lime green with this mauvey pink. I think this mauvey pink kind of color, it's also a very safe color. Like a lot of people love this kind of color, and surprisingly enough, it actually does go well with lime green. So I'm actually pretty happy with this eyeshadow palette. I don't think I will pick it up. I think I'm trying to convince myself I still can sleep every night without thinking of it. Oh yeah, they also did release the Peach Crush Blurring Palette, which is number 18. The Lime one is Lime Crush Blurring number 19, so just one before. And I must say that this palette, based off the arm swatches itself, it doesn't really excite me too much. I see that it's something a little bit different in a way that they kind of mixed it up, where they kind of mixed up the browns and beiges with some pinks, like rosy golds, and I see a little bit of oranges in there as well. So nothing too revolutionary. I already owned in my own personal eyeshadow palette collection. So personally for me, I don't need this. For some odd reason, they are very specific on categorizing like the eyeshadow palettes. Like this is for winter, this is for autumn, this is for summer, and this is for spring. There is no crossover of cool and warm tone eyeshadows or colors just coming together as one. So I feel that in this palette, I can see there's like a hint of like cool tone pinks and the rosy golds being mixed in together with some of the warmer browns. And I guess it's different in like the K-beauty aspect realm of things. But overall, if you want to talk about like beauty in general, I don't think this is anything too different. I have seen this before, and I just wish that more K-beauty brands would just, innovate a little bit, step outside of the box of all these strict labels. Colourgram, they actually released this new product called the Tintin Lip Jam. I think there's also an eyeshadow palette as well, but I don't really see it being promoted as much as compared to the lip jam itself. I've seen pictures of the eyeshadow palettes, like a little quad. I think there's like 3 or 4 different color variations. I'll try to find any pictures if I have any, but mainly the lip jam itself, I called it. I knew this type of like solid lip products would get even more popular, and I really want to try Colourgram's lip products. I don't know why. I mean, I've recently swatched them in stores, but I haven't gotten the chance to actually pick up the lip tints. I know Colourgram's lip tints are like so popular online. Maybe it's just the fact that I have so many lip tints right now and I'm just trying to like not buy any more unless it's like gifted to me by friends or, like a birthday gift or something. I don't know. Because I don't want to dip my fingers inside it and just like apply it like that, or take out a random spatula and just like dig it out and apply that. It's a little bit too much of a hassle, I feel, and I still prefer using like a liquid lipstick, just apply on the go, that kind of thing, easy. Things like this, I don't know, but the colors are so interesting though, like the Shine Muscat Jam, Soda Jam, and Cherry Jam. In the Muscat Jam one, it literally, like I said, lime green. Lime green is trending right now in K-beauty for some odd apparent reason. I think the idols that are endorsing this right now, is it Zero Base One? I have never heard their music, okay? I just am aware of their group. But if you were to ask me which individual is in the group, I don't know anything, alright? But they are endorsing Colourgram for this Tintin Dory Jam, so the products themselves look actually pretty small to me. It's like so tiny. Oh my gosh. I guess it's cute, fun size, easy to travel and bring around, I guess. Yeah, I don't feel like the urge to buy it, but I have the urge to buy and test out their lip tints because, like I said, I did swatch and test out their lip tints, the Tang Hulu one, as well as the Juicy Blurring Tint one as well. Is it called Juicy Blurring Tint? I think so. I don't know what is it, but I just know that it's like a velvety blurring kind of thing. That one felt nice. It really like changed my mind on blurring lip tints. I want to yap a little bit more about the other new makeup releases like from Espoir, like the Marbled Highlighter and Etude, like Bloomingdale collection or something. The one with a little like cat on it. That one is cute, but your girl's throat is at its limit. Literally, this is my 1 liter water bottle, and you see this? This is like, I've been drinking so much water, and this is my second refill already, so I'm gonna wrap it up over here. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And also, let me know what are your makeup wish lists. Like, are there any of these new makeup releases that is on your wish list? I love to chit chat with you guys. So drop it down in the comments below. And if you are a cool tone olive Asian and you struggle with finding your ideal foundation shade, or you maybe get your eye on one of these foundations, you don't know what shade to pick or what can you get away with, I highly recommend you checking out this video over here because I swatched all of my foundations in my current collection. So I hope you guys will find that video helpful as well. And I'll see you guys over there.